Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today is February 25th. This video won't be posted for another 5 or 6 videos, but I am starting my germination of seeds inside my house today. And by the time these get done germinating, we're going to transplant them outside into gardens that I've created. So in today's video, we are going to be planting those. I've got 192 little square things that we're going to be planting in. And actually there's going to be 2 different kinds of ways we're going to be planting, and we're going to get into those soon. But yes, this is the start of my garden year. It's going to be all about planting in gardens this year. I am so excited. I cannot wait. Let's get into the video. Okay, these are the trays we're going to be starting out with. I did get these on Amazon. It was a 2-pack of 72 pellets each. They each come with a dome on the top. They are already filled with dirt. So when you put water in here, they will plump up like this and your seed will start growing. We're going to start growing these in my small bedroom closet because I've got a light in there that we're going to try to use and try to grow them for about a month and a half before we transport them outside. Okay, now because I do have these seed starters, I watched a YouTube video about how to get these things started, and I am noticing that they are the smaller seed starter pellets. The video said that you should pretty much have the bigger ones. This allows for 6 to 8 weeks of germination before you plant them in the ground. These little ones aren't going to hold many roots at the bottom, so not sure what I'm going to do about that. I don't know, maybe we plant them earlier and just continue their growth outside and it will be okay. In the video, it describes dropping these peat pellets in water first. So I do have boiling water on the stove. The guy said that boiling water helps make them expand a lot quicker than the cold water. So we're just going to go with that. And then we're going to get to planting. I do have some graphs that I created all the gardens with and how many I'm going to be planting of each in each garden. That's going to allow us to plant that many in all of these peat pellets. I also do have these cells that we're going to have to fill with dirt. The peat pellets already come with peat moss in them. These are 12 cells. We've got about 4 of these. There's like 192 altogether. I do have all of my vegetables that we're going to be planting in here. I am waiting on strawberry seeds to arrive. All right, so we put a few of these peat moss discs in here. And again, I really wish they were the bigger ones, but they are not. I'm gonna pour the water in here and they're going to expand, and then we're gonna put them back in their cells so that we can plant. This Super Thrive plant feeder. It's, I guess, plant vitamins for the seedlings. I put this in the water. The last batch a little bit too late, but I did try to sprinkle some of the vitamin water on some of the other ones. So we're going to see what this does. Hopefully it makes them thrive. Okay, we've made a graph that looks just like one of these 72 peat pellet trays. And every time I put a seed in here, we're going to write what seed that we put in each of those. Then we're going to be marking it on one of the sides so that we know exactly which way to face it when we're reading this graph. I do have these lists of which ones I'm going to be putting in each garden, and that's what I'm going to be going off of. Here's my little diagrams of my gardens. Now, because most of these little peat moss things are so small, I still am going to start some of my bigger seeds in there. And if I do have to change them before planting them, then I'll just change them to a bigger cup. And then that's what I'd transplant into the garden. completed our first grid. I've got all of those filled in and we're gonna work on the second grid right now. Now, a quick note on why I am planting so many vegetables and fruits and herbs. I am going to be selling farm fresh eggs as well as the farm fresh produce. I will be giving some of this stuff to my guests that come in. I will be eating it myself. I've offered this stuff to my neighbors, so there's going to be an abundance of food on my property. In the future, Airbnb guests might even find a fruit basket on the counter or even some vegetables sitting on the counter that they can cook with. I am looking to replace my HelloFresh and the Every Plate that I get. These are meal kits and I get them 5 or 6 times a week. So I'm looking to replace a lot of that food with food that I grow on my own. And this has all been in my plans. I've been eating HelloFresh for 4.5 years, but now that I have my own space to grow my own gardens, I can grow my own food rather than buying it from places that supply that stuff for me. I also know how my food is grown and there's going to be no herbicides or pesticides used, so I don't know exactly what type of setup they have for their gardening. I mean, I'm just trusting it right now, and I actually love their meal kits, but it's going to be really nice to be growing my own food and saving on all of that also. Alright, so we did finish these 2 trays of 72 each. I marked the side that I filled them on with these tabs so that whichever way I go to put them in the closet or pull them back out, I know that these grids match exactly the tray that we did. So I do still have these things to fill. I have to go get regular dirt to do that, but I am going to set these up in the closet right now. I do have a couple lights. Okay, now that we got our seedlings planted, I'm going to be unwrapping this heat mat. It says there's 4 heat mats in here. I thought that it was actually hard, so I didn't think that they were going to fit in here, but now I'm realizing they're rolled up, so they are big, bigger than I thought they were going to be. Now we've got 2 trays to put on these, and then we have those 4 seed cell plastic containers. So we're gonna have to try to make sure all of them fit on this mat because we want to evenly distribute the heat. These aren't bad at all. I think one tray could actually fit on the small one, and there's 4 of them. So this one's the small one. It does look like that tray could fit on there, and I've got 3 more, and they all get bigger, so I think we do have enough heat mat, and I do have 2 lights. I had one, and then I bought another one because I don't know if one is going to start these seeds. You're actually supposed to put the lights maybe 1 or 2 inches above the seedlings, and I only had 1 light at first, so I got another one. Let's go set this up. Before we take these pellets into the other room onto the heating mat and lights, we're going to be spraying it down with some water. You want to make sure that these pellets are always kept moist, not wet, so don't pour your water in there. A spray bottle is a good idea to use for keeping these moist. All right, this is the closet we're gonna be using. I've got a light that I'm gonna set up. I put 2 boxes down there to kind of raise the beds a little bit because I'm gonna have to hang the lights from this rack right there. So I'm just gonna have to do something to rig it up to try to get the lights down lower. And I think I'm gonna use zip ties for that. But there is a mat underneath each one of them. It seems to reach pretty much all the way across the whole tray. Got them labeled. We're going to be keeping them moist, so we'll keep a spray bottle in here. I do have all of these things plugged in, and we're going to be set to start germinating and growing our seeds. Let's set up the light. Okay, it appears that our light, this is what our light looks like. I don't know if it has like a pulley system or something, or if I have to create a system. It's got a controller. Yeah, so this pulley system doesn't, it seems, this is my other light. It's a purple light when it goes on. So this is the purple light that we're going to be using. I'll put this over one of the plants and then I'll put the other light over the other plants. We'll just see how that works. I don't know if it's going to matter if I have 2 different sets of lights, but we're just going to give it a go. I think I'm definitely going to need some zip ties. Just yep, because this pulley system is very short. It's not like it goes down or anything. So we're gonna put this light is a lot brighter than that other one, so we might only need this light. I'm gonna put both lights in there just because I want a light over each tray. That's what's gonna help make them grow faster. So that's what we're gonna do. Now we're just gonna be putting these zip ties together, about 8 of them, so that the light reaches from the top rack all the way down to maybe 1 or 2 inches above the seed trays. Gosh, I hope that works. All right, that's one. Okay, we're gonna let this go for a few weeks and I'll be back in here watering it. I'm hoping that those lights are close enough because they were too far at first, so I had to put up one of the strings on both sides so that it could reach, but then so that it wasn't too close to them. We're gonna see how these do. Let's go back to the kitchen and do the rest of the plants. All right, I'm gonna be filling these cells with dirt, and then we're gonna be planting herbs in these ones. So I will have like a little herb garden over by the tiny house. That's where I'm gonna be putting all these gardens, but at least it will be by my house and I can grab the herbs if I need them, or the vegetables. I'm just going to pre-wet these a little bit. So just like the other ones, this was drier dirt. So we just want to make sure that all of it is damp down there so that when we plant the seed, at least the whole surface of the cell has water. Now you have to remember these cells go all the way down to there. We're barely hitting the surface with that water. We sprayed the little babies right there. Those are all the herbs for the herb garden. I've got this whole thing situated to where these two are hanging over the majority of the back two trays, and the majority of the pellets are getting light. These 4 trays in front aren't getting any heat, but I could put one of the other heat mats under there if I wanted to, but that's what those dome things are for, is to basically retain the heat inside. So we're just going to go with that for now, see how they come along, and if they need more heat, then we will put a heat mat underneath them. So yeah, there is 192 vegetables and herbs ready to be planted in about 6 to 8 weeks, if not a little bit more or a little bit less. That's pretty neat, right? I am well on my way to having a bunch of gardens and a bunch of produce, fruits, vegetables, herbs, spices, edible plants on my property. Next, I'm looking into getting some fruit trees and might even keep them in the container on the porch. This would be oranges, lemons, and limes. I'm really excited about this because I have always wanted my own fresh squeezed orange juice because I drink it almost every day and I buy the store-bought stuff. So I love fresh squeezed orange juice. So I'm gonna get a couple trees. If you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and click the notifications bell so you can receive a notification every time I post a new video, which is every Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Oops, I think I lost my place in one of these, but we're gonna get back on track. All right, again, these discs are really small. They're not as big as the guy. Don't put any of that. Now, although these peat moss pellets are very small, I am going to be starting all of my seeds in, well, most of the, don't put any of this.